Hey YouTube, it's Cantaloupa. If you want more MotoAmerica content, check out the new and vastly improved MotoAmerica Live Plus app. It's the only place you can catch all the race action in one place all season long. Click the link in the description below.
Starting grid for this race looks like this: Eli Block, Avery Dreyer, and Jaden McKellar.
Yep, and then right behind them we have Ella Dreyer, Logan Cunnison, and Livy Batty. Carson King, Chapin, who we just had a great interview with, Jaden Fernandez. There's Medina that we talked about, Greg, just behind with Woodworth and Fernandez. Then we have Wolf, McKellar, Page, Betancourt. Going through these pretty quick right now. James Mervis, Tardif, as you can see, they're getting ready to start.
All right, so here we go. 13 laps scheduled for Junior Cup race number 1, and away we go. And it looks like the number 1 of Avery Dreyer got a really good launch. There's his sister, number 22, Ella Dreyer, but she's going to lead us into turn number 1. So it's Ella Dreyer on the number 22.
Man, she had some serious speed the other day. I got to the track, Greg, and I went straight over to the turn 4, 5, 6 area. Ella had some really good pace as her brother sweeps around the outside of her. We have the Dreyers running 1 and 2 now. So Avery looks pretty hungry. He's had, I would say by his standards, a pretty rotten year this year for him out on track, not getting the results that we know that he is capable of. As you see, Eli Block tried to go down the inside there of Ella in turn 4. That door was slammed shut. But Avery, who we saw win so many races last year, has just been some bad luck on the track this year, Greg, and hasn't been able to get as many wins as I know he would have liked to have done to defend his championship.
So the number 1, Dreyer, Bad Boys Racing. All these competitors are on the Kawasaki Ninja 400. There are more motorcycles available to run in the class, but over the years, this has become the cream of the crop. So Dreyers lead the way, and Eli Block in the mix, trying to prove, Jason, that the Marcon Racing rider can win here at New Jersey Motorsports Park in the dry. But we can also see that Eli Block, searching for traction, gets a little bit sideways.
And he's got his teammate, the champ from this year, the 95, Chapin is up behind him now. So let's see if Chapin can draft his teammate down this front straightaway. He does. He makes that pass, gets himself into 3rd. So now he's going to go after the Dreyers himself.
Here comes Chapin. Behind the bubble, the 95, Matthew Chapin, trying to find a draft on the inside of Ella Dreyer. He's going to make that pass into turn number 1. Ella Dreyer not going to fight back this time.
Again, we're lucky that the weather is cooperating with us, because we've had some really rough weather for these riders all weekend long, and this is the best that they have seen the track all weekend.
But overall, Eli Block goes the fastest Sector 2 time. Oh.
That's going to be, is that Cunnison? I'm not sure. It might be Logan Cunnison that's gone downgrade.
Yeah, the number 58 rider.
Yeah, continue to fall. But what I want you to pay attention to when they come head on at you, look at the difference in size between Avery and Chapin. Chapin can get himself a lot smaller behind the fairings of that bike, as you get in a battle here for 4th place between Eli Block and Yandel Medina. Look at these guys, Greg. They just stay tucked in all the way through that last corner, wide open. So Medina pulls out of that draft and is going to go by Eli Block down the front straightaway to take over that 4th spot. 30.2, to your point, Greg, just keeps getting lower and lower, and Chapin takes the lead as they roll off into turn 1.
Yeah, so Chapin goes 0.3 of a second quicker and is able to get the draft. So that last lap by Avery Dreyer had actually gone over start-finish line ahead of Chapin by 1/10 of a second. But that momentum that Chapin had in that draft, getting behind that bubble like you're talking about, Jason, he was able to take over that lead. And again, the fastest lap of the race for the 95.
Now we're going to see what Avery has as he looks down the inside. He's going to set Chapin up, go down the inside of him as they enter turn 5. Very popular passing spot. Runs out over the curb. You can see Chapin has a long look over his shoulder, realizes that there's nobody behind him. So look at behind. Medina now has gone and got past Ella Dreyer also. So Chapin had a long look over his shoulder. As you see, Ella thought about having a dive down the inside. Didn't quite get that chance to do that. But yeah, and I think that when you start to think about what you just said there, Greg, with the pace, Dreyer up front pushing his own win. And I think Chapin just thinks now maybe he's just going to be patient and just let a few more laps run down before he takes another shot at Dreyer. He'll probably try the drafting down the front straight to see if he could beat Dreyer to the line. But for now, I just feel like he's sitting there looking. Another rider down, Greg, here. Not sure of the number. Number 15 we're hearing is Jaden McKellar. So here we go, back at the front. Dreyer still leading the way. Minute 30.4. He did his fastest lap of the race.
Junior Cup race action between the number 1 and the number 95 as Dreyer leads Chapin, Yandel Medina in 3rd place, Ella Dreyer and Eli Block in 5th. Yeah, so for Chapin, he just goes sector 1, fastest sector, a 24.2. So the situation is exactly what you're saying, Jason. So right now, Avery Dreyer and Matthew Chapin are locked into a battle up front. But this battle behind is within 4.7 seconds. In timing and scoring over Matthew Chapin. And Dreyer's the other person. Does he need to know that as well?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's the biggest thing, is if Dreyer doesn't know, Matthew goes by, he might try to set him up for a last lap pass that he doesn't really need to make. But Greg, he's not trying to pass. He is just trying to set something up for the last lap, I can tell from here. And whether these guys know that there was any kind of penalty or not, I don't know.
But Medina, Dreyer, Ella Dreyer, Eli Block back there in 5th. Fernandez, Batty, King, Wolf, Woodworth, and Solly Mervis up to 11th place. You can see the left part of your screen, up to 11th place from 20th. So Mervis having a good run at it, doing 1:32.8.
It's going to be 2 laps to go when they come through this time for Chapin. And again, we just don't know what they know, if they know, or anything, because Chapin right now has got a run on Avery Dreyer. He's going to take the lead as they come across for the white flag, or that was the blue flag I saw for the rider in front there. The 98 got the blue flag, but for Chapin, he takes the lead. Now for Dreyer, he doesn't realize that he still has a 4.9 second lead. I think Chapin probably knows that he can't pull 5 seconds out on that rider either. So for Chapin, you see they got a little bit in the battle for that position there. The lapper kind of got in the way a little bit of Chapin, and Dreyer goes through.
There's
the white flag. And now the white flag will start to get waved as they come down this front straightaway. They're going to see the white flag last lap through.
Yeah,
Chapin gets through.
Yeah, Chapin gets through, and over the line, Chapin got to 4.997s. So if that was the run to the flag without the 5-second penalty, Chapin would have won it. But now with the lap to go, there is very little chance that Chapin is going to have a 5-second lead, but this is what racing's for. Anything can happen. So final lap of the race, Avery Dreyer, the number 1, actually leads in timing and scoring with a 5-second penalty assessed to the 95 of Matthew Chapin. So he's trying desperately on this final lap to get a 5-second gap, and all Dreyer has to do is hang out, but he's not content to do that because Dreyer wants to win on the racetrack. After an up and down season, Avery Dreyer has got the bit between his teeth.
Yeah, he does, and like you say, Greg, he wants to win this race no matter what. I'm sure even if he knew that there was a penalty, but he's got a huge lead right now as they're going to be putting another rider a lap down as they come in. This is going to be a good spot for Avery to try to go past somebody, especially on this last lap. Probably going to have to roll around the outside. Let's see what happens here. It goes down. Yeah, it's going to be close here. Yeah, it goes down the inside. So they both make it through cleanly. And now Dreyer's going to be worried about getting drafted to the line and not really know that it's for the victory. So Chapin's going to set himself up perfectly as they go through this last corner. They're both tucked in. Chapin almost is too close, but he's going to pull out of the draft. Let's see who gets it.
All right, so a race to the line as it comes down to it, and it's going to be Avery Dreyer who takes victory, but Matthew Chapin came across the line first, so it's going to be the first one as the battle for 3rd place. As we go to the line, it's going to be Medina, and this is your battle for 4th between Ella Dreyer and Eli Block. So it's going to be Dreyer, Chapin in 2nd place. Here was the photo finish that didn't really mean anything, but you can see that for Chapin, it's a big win. Chapin is going to end up finishing with the 5-second jump start penalty. Chapin will end up finishing 4.966 seconds behind. And then you have Yandel Medina. Let's get right down to Hannah with our winner and the championship standings. Obviously, we know the 95 is going to be the number 1 after this, but he wins. Medina, Cunnison in that order. Well,